Have you ever asked yourself what your scorecard would be if Jesus were to evaluate you and I the way he evaluated the churches in the book of Revelations? Because we will all give accounts to God one day. So it is best we prepare ourselves, we evaluate ourselves based on these criteria. And when we read those two chapters, we will see five major areas that stand out with Jesus. Evaluated them based on one was their love. He said they had left their first love. So God commands us to love. Are we now harboring hatred, resentment towards others, and especially fellow believers, or we are still walking in love? The next is their doctrines. Some had embraced doctrines Jesus called the doctrine of the Nicolaitans or the doctrines of Balaam, which the apostles did not teach. So are we still holding true to the teachings of the Bible, the teachings of the apostles, and the teachings of Christ, or have we embraced false doctrines? The next is on their holiness. Some people have been misled by a woman called Jezebel into idolatry and fornication. Are we indulging in uh, ungodly practices in the name of grace, or are we living holy? The Bible is still sure that without holiness, no man shall see the Lord. Another group was that they've had a reputation of being alive, but they were dead. These people were active in church, doing Christian activities involved with church work, but actually they were spiritually dead, even though they were physically active in church. It's easy for us to mistake being active in church and committed to church to being spiritually alive. It is only as we practice God's word are we actually spiritually alive, not being involved in one church activity or the other, not being doers of the word. If not, we'll be deceiving ourselves. The last criteria was the spirituality criteria. The Laodicean church thought that because they were prospering, they had all gold and silver, they were spiritual. But Jesus told them they were blind, they were poor, and they were naked. So prosperity is not a proof of spirituality. Neither does activity prove spirituality. So God had already given these areas with which we can evaluate ourselves: our love, our doctrines, our holiness, our spiritual life, and our prosperity. These are areas that which we can use to judge ourselves so that we will not be judged and we will not be condemned or rebuked by the Lord when the time comes.